There's a man with a talent, a spark in his eye. He's got a wicked creation that's one of a kind. With his 3D printer, he'll blow your mind. Frightful Forge, his name speaks for itself. Printing monsters and ghouls straight out of hell. From skeletons to witches, his designs are supreme. In the realm of horror, he reigns supreme. Frightful Forge, he's the master of fright. With his 3D prints, he'll keep you up all night. Spooky creatures crawling out of his machine. Frightful Forge, the Halloween scene's new king.
Hey, assuming everything is working and I can be heard, I am GM Dan, and I am running a Spelljammer through Journey to the Radiant Citadel live play podcast, and we are in episode 14, and it feels much longer than that, but that's because we had some really neat opening videos that went over backgrounds for a lot of our players. If you haven't seen those yet, they're all on YouTube through Gamersledge. We're going to start off with a how's it, what's it, and what's been happening. Our party, making our way through a crystal taxi, came to the lands of Sansatlan, named for the large industrial city at its center. A desertous landscape awaited them as they were sent here looking for a possible disease that was similar to the disease that affected one of their own. forcing him to return to the land he came from. Once they arrived, they looked into it and found out that through some magic mugglery, found out that it was not a disease, it was in fact a curse that is brought in at some point in the night, possibly by some kind of owl-like creature. They investigated the first town they came across, Milpazul, where they were welcomed in by a living skeleton, a beautifully handcrafted living skeleton, who, between her and the small rebel woman Paloma, were sent to look into the Howling Mine, or the Hollow Mine, named such because the mine went hollow after the town of, I just had it written here, Pontezuela, ran dry of silver. And there has been some shady stuff happening there, and so the group headed out during light of day to hopefully get there before evening, when they were beset upon by two Ettins, giant monstrosities with doodling heads that made swift work and nearly killed two of them. So before I get too far into the repercussions of those actions, I'm going to go ahead and move us over to our players. I will be starting with the player to the side of me. Andres, we'll go around in a circle. Who are you and who are you playing?
My name is Andres, and I'm playing Sunshine King Spirit, the half-orc monk.
Beneath him is Mark.
You, Mark.
It's Naomi on my screen. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, I switched over to the screens because I remembered last time I got messed.
Yeah, now that you mention it. Yes. Sorry. Hi, I'm Mark. I'm playing Nuri, the human chef.
Hey everybody, I'm Jim, and I'm playing Sibo Bottle Pop, the Goblin Alchemist.
I am the Crow Dad, and I am playing Keck, the Thrycreen Fighter.
And I'm Naomi, and I'm playing Prudence the Bard, the Tiefling Bard.
great. They are a fairly stout group, but due to the misfortune of the Thrycreen and their party, the holdfast, steadfast warrior disappearing in a flicker of blue light, they were left to handle the two Ettins by themselves. They still made pretty good work of the two Ettins, especially our wrestling friend, supported very well by all remaining characters. However, both Prudence and Sunshine ended up meeting the kid at the end of time once again. Also, the Ettins, oh wait, no, not the Ettins, destroyed the donkeys. It was Prudence that destroyed the donkeys.
Forgot about that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Mark?
So would you say we would have come out ahead in that fight if you were an Etten man?
Damn it, Mark.
Nice. Alright, so, I believe you guys probably want to take a short rest.
Yes, please.
It is,
That'd be good.
it is about 1:30 in the afternoon. It's going to take you about 3 hours, in theory, to get to the town now called Hollow. And that will leave you about 2 hours before dark, once you arrive at Hollow. So taking an hour break to pull your gear together, wish the donkeys a fine farewell, and then head out would probably be okay. So as mentioned previously, this is the point where if you have hit point damage, you can use hit dice to pull back some of that damage. Or to heal some of that damage. Yeah.
I'll take the hour to fillet the donkeys.
Okay.
I mean, I mean, it is food you would eat. So
You said this is a long rest?
no, it's a short
It's
rest.
a short
Short
rest.
rest?
Yeah,
Okay.
short rest.
Never
An
mind.
hour.
Yeah. If you guys did a long rest at this point, you'd be waking up in the middle of the night, and there's bad things that are set to happen.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
You do note, however, during this hour where you're tending to the animals and getting back some of that much needed breathing space, that Keck, there's a kind of flurry of black and white static across your vision, and you're incapable of blinking. So within a space of one breath and the next, you're standing. To your back is a large stack of rocks. They're hot on your back, which is kind of comfortable for you. Ever since being here in Sunsetlan, you've actually felt a lot more of what you're more comfortable with, weather-wise. Even though it's outside and there's a lot of sun and you may not be used to that, the amount of dust, dirt, and heat is something that you feel akin to. You are currently looking out at the desert. There is a sheen on the flatlands that looks like heat moving across, almost as if it's water. And you hear what you're pretty sure is the rest of your compatriots around the edge of the rock somewhere. They're talking, chatting. Mark, please give me a survival check.
Yes. Reach for this guy. All right. Survival check. 9 plus. Boop, boop, boop. Survival. 9 plus 7, 16.
You're able to, I mean, from two kind of scrawny donkeys,
Yeah.
you're able to get about 8 pounds of good meat. It's not solid meat, because, to be honest, there's not a lot left.
Okay. That's fine.
Yep.
Also, I texted you.
Oh.
And I will come around the rock and walk into camp, and New will
It's not a
hear-
camp. There's no camp.
Oh, okay.
We're in the middle of the desert.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
We're
New will
traveling from A
hear
to B.
in his head,
Do I smell meat?
And Mark froze. You see 1.5 kind of exploded donkeys that have now been carved up. So there is still plenty of meat, but a lot of it has dust and dirt coating it now. And two
that's what the fingers are for.
and two very large damaged Etten, though it looks like for the most part they were beaten to death, not like chopped up.
So they're tender.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to go over and try to cut in to take out a heart of an Etten.
Okay. Roll me a yeah, actually I was gonna have you roll for smells, but that's not really a thing for you. So roll me a survival check. Are you back, Mark? Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
8.
You
That's
looked
definitely a
over.
heart.
Keck walked straight in to you guys and picked up his are you using a staff with 2 blades?
A glaive.
A glaive. He picks up his glaive and he is mercilessly striking at the Etten's chest and doing damage, but you're not sure what he's trying to do.
It's dead.
I know.
What are you trying to do?
I want to take his power.
What does that mean?
I'm gonna eat his heart.
Do you want help?
Sure.
Anyone happen to know where Etton's heart is? I asked the group.
I'm asleep.
What do I roll for that?
Medicine.
Medicine, I would think.
I think it's where his home is.
I'll try and figure it out
Would you
too.
ostensibly roll nature, Dan?
Let me see what an Essen is. 1 second.
It's a
Right.
big
I would
monster.
Isn't it
say-
kind of like a troll giant?
I was saying, yeah, I was seeing if it was a monstrosity or a giant. These ones, because these are not normal Essen. Yeah, I would say nature. I'd say nature.
I can do that.
Or medicine. Either one.
How inaccurate is an 8?
Let me see what I need to roll for
They
that.
have hearts?
I mean, it's not a critical failure, right? You're pretty
Yeah.
sure it's in the upper torso somewhere.
Yeah.
And if
Somewhere
I
with
mess up on the
hearts.
first one, there's another one I can practice on.
Yeah.
I got a 17 for medicine.
You're fairly certain, based on butchering not humanoids, because
Right.
hopefully you haven't done a lot of that, but
Nope.
on butchering
It's best if you
other
don't ask those questions.
other mammals, you're able to kind of pinpoint where it would be and where it should be to make the least amount of work to get there.
I'm gonna I'm gonna go ahead and try and remove the heart for Keck.
Roll survival with advantage.
A 26.
I'm texting you right now.
Okay.
I don't think he succeeded. I don't think that was high.
So all of you see, after Keck explains what he's looking for, unless you say otherwise, Keck, I assume that the telepathic messages are like normal speech where they're going to the whole party.
Yeah. Unless I
Um,
say, like, just one person
Yeah,
hears
unless
it.
you say you're whispering to one person, I'm going to assume it's for everybody. Once you guys realize what Keck is looking for, New moves forward and goes about with extreme precision. He is drawing a line down the chest, makes marks, feels for ribs, and then with some very oddly specific and kind of frightening skills, goes in with his chef's knives and hollows out a portion and pulls out a heart that is roughly the size of 2 basketballs, and slides it out and sets it on the rather disgusting and dirty Etton's chest.
I slurp up just a little bit of drool.
Thank you.
And then I'm going to reach in and pull out a little piece of sugar candy crystal and hand it to New.
A favor for a favor.
And then I'm going to start eating the heart with my finger mouth. I'm just going to crouch over it and just be nibbling.
Okay, that disgusting thing happened. And you
Yep, that
Proceed.
just went down.
to eat raw Etton heart. Do me a favor and roll me a con saving throw.
$20 and not natural.
It is nothing like what you have eaten before. Which probably goes without saying because you probably haven't eaten this before. But something tastes almost corrupted. And that's for you that often eat spoiled meat. Something about this meat tastes corrupted.
I'll stop eating it reluctantly.
I didn't say it was doing anything to you.
I know, but I'll stop, and then I'll let the group know. Don't try eating that as well.
I wasn't planning on it.
Something's wrong with it.
Even as a goblin, I don't always take advantage of devouring my opponents.
I just wanted to sleep. Why are you talking to me in my sleep?
It's just a dream. Go back to bed.
I turn around and throw a sleep potion at him.
And he's out.
Take it.
You guys.
Sleep well, Mouthy.
You guys spend the hour well, resting, prepping light duties, things that you can of that nature, and soon it's time to get back on the road. There wasn't a lot of gear in the cart anyway. It was only a half day's walk, so you pack up what stuff you normally carry anyway, and head out into the wind. Yes.
I would suggest Keck to pull the cart, since it's his fault that the donkeys are dead anyways.
My fault?
Right, you weren't there to protect them.
Oh. I'll pull the cart.
Give me a
And
strength
guilt
check.
tripping in Dungeons
I'll
and
help you
Dragons.
with it.
I cannot
21.
say how ecstatic I am, Mark, that you're having now the two main fighters in the group pulling a relatively heavy cart before possibly another fight. I love this. But
it's fine.
I need to look at the exhaustion rules again. Hold on.
I need to do more working out anyway. I can't just be lazing up in the cart and just with my feet up.
Yeah,
And
I rolled a
nobody's in the
21,
cart,
so
it shouldn't be
too
that
bad.
heavy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're fine. It's slow going, pulling the cart through sand, but pretty soon you guys find a track of more hard-packed land and start pulling it through. As you are making your way across the intervening space, who do you want amongst you to make a perception check?
Definitely not me.
Okay,
Me?
go ahead, Mark.
I'm pulling a cart.
I'm pulling cards and
10 plus perception, 17.
1 second.
Should I also roll, or was only one person?
Only one person for now.
Child has a tech request, so
Child has a what?
a request about tech involved stuff and does answers for me.
Tech request. Got it.
Heck request?
Yes. Sunday streamer Keck support.
technically this isn't Sunday.
Technically, I agree.
Technically.
Technically.
Where was I? Oh, what did you roll?
17.
Yeah, I figured what usually ends up happening is I have everybody roll, and then everybody rolls high, and then it's information that everybody gets anyway, so we'll just have one person roll. Okay. In the distance, you see these really large
Ettins.
reptilian bird-like creatures perching on the top of bluffs as you're passing. You're seeing them in the distance, but even at a distance, you can tell that they're probably man-sized. If one were to liken them to the tales you've heard before, something from the savage lands to the south of your homelands, these huge reptilian bird-type creatures.
Be careful, everyone. If we go to the Savage Lands, all the X-Men lose their powers.
They do, and you might get eaten by a pterodactyl.
That's correct. Or
And
brainwashed.
finally touch something.
And this is why we're all friends.
Which is evident, very evident, based on the costume they had to wear.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Wolverine too.
Anyway. After another couple hours travel, you arrive to the edge. Like the land you've been traveling is very flat, but it has a downwards turn and a downhill slope where the track you're on kind of goes back and forth down the slope towards what I'm going to describe shortly. The wind picks up, and it's blowing hot sand across your face. You can see that the sun is making its way down, and it is getting slightly darker as it's coming down. But you look out across this open expanse, and you see a rock face that goes up probably 100 feet way out in front of you, and between you and that rock face sits a decrepit town which spreads out along the road ahead. Its weathered shacks creak in the wind. A dozen or so armed figures move in and out of structures which appear long abandoned. An opulent coach, looking distinctly out of place, is parked amidst the buildings with its curtains drawn. The armed figures look like they might be bandits, but not bandits related to the bandits you already fought. Different group of bandits, maybe. But they seem to be moving in and out of the structures, and all of the structures look like nobody has lived there for a while, which would line up with what you've been told of the settlement of Hollow. Has been abandoned for a while. And you also heard from the father that he had seen when coming out this way to Marspul that there were possibly ghouls, bless you, taking someone into the mine. Because past the decrepit shantytown, you see a mine entrance way back there.
It's there's nothing there, no indications of habitation.
Not that you see. It looks like these, I'm going to say homes loosely, all of these buildings. You're surprised the wind that you're feeling right now hasn't knocked them down already.
Okay, so truly abandoned for all intents and purposes.
Truly abandoned, yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Well, we're pulling a wagon, so I don't think we're going to be able to...
Yeah, we should probably stop that.
Yeah.
So, as a reminder, you were being sent here to investigate Hollow because rumors had been that something had been this way. Maybe that owl-like creature that's spreading the disease/curse was this way. But you were just sent to investigate and try to see if you could put a stop to it. What they're doing here, you're not sure, but this is where you were sent.
Should we try and figure out what it is they're here for? Or maybe they're also here to investigate the Hollow. Or the...
What does the security for the coach?
more time?
Sorry, Shank.
Oh, he was saying, maybe they're here to investigate it.
They might
Maybe
be.
they're
Yeah,
here
I-
to make sure that nobody else does.
Yeah. What does the security around the coach look like?
So the coach, which definitely out of place. It has one bandit. It has one person. I'm not gonna say bandit because that might give you a colorful representation I don't mean. It has one surly-looking dude sitting on the rider's seat.
Mm-hmm.
He's got
I'm
something across
imagining a
his lap.
semi-threatening highwayman.
He's got something across his lap, but you're not sure what it is. And then there's somebody standing against one of the back wheels, facing away from you towards the town. And he seems to be maybe smoking something.
And wide open street to the right of the coach?
So, you guys are
Or is it-
coming down a road. There is a road
Yep.
perpendicular right before you get to the town.
Mhm.
That goes off in various directions. The
Okay.
coach is parked like almost at the crossroads. And then
Right.
like 20 feet past that road is when the shantytown starts. There's open
Okay.
road to the left and to the right, and you guys, they probably have seen you and just haven't, because you guys are on the edge of, like, you're outlined by sky, essentially.
Yeah, my question is like more along the lines of if we're coming down the road, we see the coach to pass the crossroads. Is it on our street on the left side where there's a large expanse of open road to the right, or is it on the right side and there's like very little open road to the right?
So, other than brush and a couple Joshua trees, nothing would even force anyone to take the roads right now. But it is to the left, where there's a lot of space to the right.
Okay, that's what I was
Yeah.
double checking. Okay, and is there building to the left between the stagecoach? Like, is it shanty building right there, or is it still in an open area before the shanty town starts?
There is a slight open area, maybe
Okay.
20 or 30 feet before the buildings
Okay.
start. And now that you guys are you guys getting closer? What have you decided?
We haven't moved yet,
Okay.
but I think that we'll just walk from
As
here
you have
without
been as you have been observing, it does look like they're taking something from the back of the coach to the houses.
odd.
Mm,
And they're pretty far away, right? So detect magic is going to do nothing.
It won't do anything from this distance.
Yeah. And that's, I don't even know if I can do that right now.
And is it straight? Is it uphill? Downhill?
It's downhill from where you guys are, but once you hit the bottom, like almost where the crossroads are, it's flat all the way back to the
Oh,
line.
I have a really
Before
bad
we move
idea.
forward, if we're leaving the cart that has all our camping gear, all of our gear, right?
That's up to you and what's in the back of the cart.
I think we just keep. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nail.
No, I just figure if there's things in the cart we will want for our way back, we should probably put it somewhere where we can remember.
I mean, as long as we had somebody with strength to guide the yoke sitting on the front of the wagon, we could push it and it'll start rolling automatically.
True. And there
Yeah.
is a chance that that steering might still stay straight with the road that was going like this on the way down to the road you're on isn't a straight shot. It goes back
Oh.
and forth a little bit.
But we do have somebody who's strong enough to hold the yoke, right?
To like put it on his shoulders and
No, hold it from the underside. Like, because normally a yoke is like a cross, right? When you've got a couple animals. So
Okay.
you'd sit in the seat, pick it up and hold the yoke and be able to steer it from the driver's seat.
It's going to make that wagon real heavy.
oh, I see. Okay. This is... I should have described it better. Okay. You're picturing a cart with 4 wheels.
Yes.
I was
Oh, is it a
picturing-
cart with 2 wheels?
I was picturing a cart with 2 wheels, but we'll say it has 4 wheels. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah, no, that my fault.
No, it's not your fault because I hadn't described it. We had different pictures in our head. It's one of those things. So, you're saying have somebody that can hold up the yoke so it's not digging in the ground.
Right.
And then it should free roll in a relatively straight line, hopefully.
Well,
down the
I think
hill.
he's saying the person holding the yoke could, if they're
Can
strong
steer
enough,
it.
could turn the yoke,
Right.
which would turn the wheels.
Because that's how those yokes work, right? Like if the donkeys turn right, then the front wheels turn right.
So, eventually, over the course of technology, sure.
Oh,
But
okay. So this is not even that. Got it.
No,
Okay,
yeah,
I'm with you.
This is when you're turning around a cart like this, you have to make wide turns.
See, this, kids, is the entire synopsis of Hume's instance of ideas versus because we're both thinking of a wagon and neither is wrong, but they are two very different wagons.
Do we need the wagon?
I think Mark
Yeah.
is trying to think of a way to use the wagon.
I was,
Yeah.
but
I think we
Which-
need the wagon because it's not our wagon.
right.
Neither were the
We
donkeys.
lost the donkey, so maybe we don't lose the wagon.
For all they know, the donkeys ran away with the wagon. That's what I saw.
I'm pretty sure I saw the donkeys explode.
Did I actually explode the donkeys? Oh wait, I did.
It took you talking.
I love that it took like an hour and a half to 2 hours, and you've already forgotten that you exploded the donkeys.
I'm sorry I missed that.
Oh no, you wouldn't have if you saw that. You saw the leftovers. What happened?
No, he wasn't there.
Okay.
All right, so I guess we'll just keep going as we're going. Have been going with the wagon down the hill.
As you guys start to make yourself, start to get closer, you note that you hear kind of a sharp whistle, and the one up top, the driver, turns to face you guys a little bit, but he hasn't made any moves to change other than that, and he apparently is the one that whistled because the one that was on the other side, the guard that was on the other side of the cart, comes off that wheel, comes around, leans back against the wheel facing you, because the cart is perpendicular to how you're coming up. The carriage is perpendicular to how you guys are coming up, and leans back, still smoking a cigarette. But you see his hand laying lightly on a hand crossbow at his belt. The other workers continue to come up and grab small, what looks like wax-covered packages from the carriage, taking them to different buildings.
I'm going to walk next to Keck, and I'm going to give Keck a piece of black pepper jerky. And I will say to Keck, or I will think to Keck, because that's how that works, right? Or
Yeah.
do I have to talk to you?
No,
It's not-
I mean, I can hear you if you talk. I think.
Is it one-way telepathy between Keck and I, or is it two-way telepathy?
So
It's one way.
That's
That's
that's the kicker, right? It's almost like message. Usually, it's almost like message where
Okay.
he can hear your voluntary thoughts, but he has to know to listen to your voluntary thoughts. It's like message where he can reply to this message, but in reverse if he knows you're thinking.
Well, when he hands, because I'm assuming you're handing it to my secondary arms, because the other arms are holding the cart. When you hand me the jerky, I'll think to you,
Am I supposed to eat this?
Did he freeze? What's he thinking?
I think he's frozen again.
I
Otherwise,
love
he's thinking
cock.
very still.
Internet.
That was a really
Cox
great.
Internet is the base. Is the best.
That was a great face for you to pause on because all of us
Yeah.
thought you were just thinking.
No, what I said a minute ago. Oh, and now I'm off Discord.
Really?
No,
And now
we
I'm
can
back.
hear you.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
still
no,
there.
it came back just now. I'm going to give Keck a thing of garden curry and have him consume it. Then he can have telepathy with any creature up to 30 feet away from him. True telepathy. And I'm marking it off my sheet that I did it. And then I'm going to hand him press a piece of black pepper jerky into one of his claws. Pincers.
Damn it.
And what?
I gotta go find it. Player's handbook to learn telepathy. Because your telepathy is different than his telepathy.
Yes, it is. That's why I was doing it.
Yeah.
So that he could have a two-way communication.
I can look it up.
Huh? I've got it. I've got it too. And then you gave him the jerky and told him what to eat it now. Or
No, wait. If when I start when we start talking to these guys, if I'm talking to them ahead of everybody else and something goes horribly wrong, use that jerky to trade places with me.
Okay.
Hold on, Mark. Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the curry you have cannot bestow true telepathy as per the spell. It can't.
Is that true telepathy?
So telepathy, the spell, is an 8th level spell.
No. This says gain telepathy with any creature consuming it up to 30 feet for 8 hours.
Okay.
So it just links you with the person. It links
Yeah.
you specifically to that person.
To any person you wish within 30 feet for 8 hours.
Once? Or continue?
No, for like
Can he
if
point...
anybody moves into his circle sphere of 30 feet and he wants to communicate with them telepathically, he can for 8 hours. And then it goes away. But if they move outside the 30 feet, then he can't.
What is your current telepathy? This is something
Let me look it up.
we should probably know anyway.
Without magic, you can't speak the non-Thrycreen languages you know. Instead, you can use telepathy, magically transmitting your thoughts mentally to willing creatures within 120 feet of yourself. A contacted creature does not need to share language with you, but must be able to understand at least one language. The telepathic link is broken if the distance is between you is more than 120 feet, if either of you are incapacitated, or if either of you breaks the contact.
So
No action required.
I don't need to actually give this to him then.
you don't need to, but it sounds like the difference is he could do telepathy with non-willing people with your curry.
Right, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's correct, but only 30 feet.
Only 30
Like
feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you can take that back if you'd like to, Mark.
I would like to.
Okay.
I pull it out of his mouth hands before.
Because it is a telepathic link, it says.
That you are doing, that your personal one is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually think he would not be able to, unless he knows you're trying. Like you would have to give him a hand signal to let him know link with me, and then he'll link with you, and then you can have two-way communication.
So I have it up right now, the chef's thing, if you want me to read it out for you.
Oh, did I summarize it wrong?
Yeah,
On my
so it's
thing?
once consumed, You
Yeah.
gain a telepathic link with the chef and any other creature under the effects of the garden curry recipe created by the chef.
Oh, sorry. Yep, I summarized it wrong.
Okay.
My apologies.
So a lot of your abilities, Mark, are like that, where you're the hub.
Yes.
I think that's really neat, and it also adds a limitation, which makes sense for your power base,
Yes.
because some of your stuff is bonkers. Sweet. Thank you.
Oh, I see. Because I wrote gain telepathy with any creature consuming it up to 30 feet. I see. So I had it right, but I was reading it wrong. Yep.
Okay, so you guys, unless please let me know if you have anything you would like to do outside of 30 feet from the carriage. Once you're within 30 feet of the carriage, other things happen. So is there anything you guys would like to do as you're pulling the cart towards the town of Hollow?
I'd probably want to go out first
Okay.
in front of the guys carrying the tongue, yoke, whatever it is.
Oh, yeah, out in front of the cart, which is easy because they're pulling a cart, and while the cart isn't, I mean, it is kind of heavy, but they're two brutes, and they're pulling it reasonably quick.
And it's downhill.
Yeah. They're actually slowing it down so they'll get right over is probably the best way to put it in. Is anybody else wanting to go with Mark, or with New, at the front of the procession?
I will.
Okay. Where is Prue?
Somewhere near the wagon, desperately wishing she could take a very long nap.
I mean, you have a wagon right there.
Yeah, but you're not letting us take it anyway.
Alright. Sibo and New, you kind of move a little bit more quickly to be out further in front of the cart, and once you get about 30 feet, you see the one who is smoking. He flicks a small cigaretto out into the desert, into the wind, and the wind sweeps it away. And he stands up straight and says, "Ooh, there, Slim. How can we help you today? What are you doing this far out?"
Hello! We were looking for the town of Hollow, and I think we're here.
I'd say you found it, though there's not much to find.
So it would seem.
Can I help you find something?
Town of Hollow.
Yeah, no, I got that. Thanks. Are you looking for something specific in the town of Hollow? It's empty.
I don't know, maybe a giant owl monster that's cursing people.
He gives you a strange look, quirks an eyebrow up, and then reaches up and hammers on the side of the carriage. And you hear somebody inside sputter, and the cart shifts a little bit, and then the door on the opposite side opens, and you hear almost like jingly bells as boots hit the step and then hit the ground. And walking around the corner, I wish I had a picture because the description of it is awesome. You see a tiefling, probably his late 40s. He looks to be... he's got to be a local celebrity, the way he's dressed. You'd guess an owner of businesses or maybe a politician. He has a well-oiled mustache that comes up and into points, almost like tiefling horns. There are small caps on the ends of his mustache. He has a very, very well-trimmed and well-oiled goatee that comes down to a point, and there is a cap on the end of his goatee. He's wearing very, very fancy clothing. You see his boots which are definite boots you would see working boots out and about, except these are very well made pieces of art that have bells on the backs where spurs would be. Of his horns, his right horn is a prosthetic made of jade that is carved with very intricate details. And as he comes around the corner with a big smile, you see that 3 of his teeth on the same side, his upper teeth on the same side, also jade.
So I know we don't talk about it very often, but I also have a very fine beard that is well oiled and taken care of.
Can you stop flirting with the GM, please?
I am going to walk right up to him, and I'm going to look at the caps on the ends of his mustache and beard and say, I have never seen the like before.
As you kind of
Totally invading his personal space.
hurry his pace to come around the corner and move up. Yes, Sunshine?
As this guy walks around the corner, I tap Keck to like letting him know, like, tap in. And I say to Keck, dibs on that one if we fight.
I wish I could wear boots. I want his boots.
We can make you boots.
As you move up quickly and to his invade, he originally sees you as a threat and starts to, like, his eyes go wide and he starts to backpedal, and you can see the guard that you just walked past knew. He's reaching for things, he's starting to move, and then you stop just short of kissing him on the nose, and you can see his right hand, once he realizes you're not, hopefully, a threat, his right hand does something complicated and the guard settles back as if he's nonchalant. And he says, well, thank you. I work hard on it. I see you were...
What are these called?
What?
The caps. I've never seen a mustache cap.
They are my mustache guards. And he plays with his mustache. And as he does that, the point dingle, and it actually rings also like a bell.
I quirk an eyebrow.
It's very quiet. It's not loud. You can hear it because you're right here in his face. But it's also a little bell.
He sounds incredibly punchable.
Whack.
Sorry, what did you say, Shank?
Did an alchemist make those for you?
Yes, actually. It's something of an alchemist and somebody who deals in artifacts and building trinkets.
I immediately wheel, no longer facing him, and look at Sibo. Sibo, can you make these?
I suppose it is possible with the right formulae, or a lot of time and errors.
I spin back around to him, and I say, my good man, what is your name? It is a pleasure to meet you. I am new.
Well, I would say so. We've never met you before.
Clever. Just keep moving forward, please.
No, my name is New. Nuri, to be
He says,
precise.
You really must be, pardon the pun, but new around here not to know Isman. And he goes to, like, put his hand on his chest as if that's me, and then his fingers play at the seam of his shirt nervously. And he says, I am a man of great power in Sanslan. And...
Never heard of you.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that the feeling is mutual, my dirty little friend. The land behind you, Hollow. You said something about wanting to come here. I own all of this.
Mostly are here to punch him.
What happened to all the people?
Over time, the illness struck many very hard, and this small town has been dying for a while, so the families that had people here took their people home.
So what is so important out here that his nib stands around and tries to ward off visitors?
Oh, well, I'm not warding off anyone. I like that nickname. I'm taking care of my property. This illness, this disease has spread far and wide, and I think that this history, the history of Hollow, I think it's time it's met its end, so I'm going to burn it down.
Whoa.
Has it not been destroyed enough by Mother Nature?
Well, if some kind of disease or illness is spreading from here, then no.
It's not. It's a curse. And I assume you're wanting to find the person responsible for it, right?
He raises an eyebrow at you and kind of chuckles and says, "We've had the best clerics and medicinal experts looking at everyone who has gotten the Serenio. It's very much a disease, and
No,
you burn out the disease.
Your
It's a curse.
clerics are not us.
Yeah.
I agree. My clerics, people that I have known and worked with for decades, are not a group of 5 strange-looking individuals that happened to come upon me one afternoon.
I can hear this.
Huh?
So are you familiar with the
I
Radiant
hear this?
Citadel?
When he says strange-looking individuals, does he? Can I hear that?
Yeah, because he's looking past new to the interesting...
How dare you, sir? You are the strange-looking one. I work very hard to look this immaculate.
Oh, I didn't say bad. Just different.
Choose
Only
words
what you
more carefully.
will. A green skin if you must. But just
I'm
know that smart-ass comments fly both ways.
I suppose that's a fair rub.
Are you familiar with the Radiant Citadel?
The Radiant Citadel. I can't say that I am.
Good. Then I'll make this easy to explain. We're not from this world. We're here investigating this, what you call a disease, and we have already determined that it is indeed a curse. So you could burn down your property, which probably has some intrinsic value to you still, or you can take the words of 5 strangely dressed and different people from anything you've ever seen and perhaps chew on it for a bit, as they say that they are searching for the cause of the curse. However, what I would not do is stay out on the streets past nighttime, because that seems to be the incubation period for people catching the curse.
I agree that we have also found that something at night is what is infecting these poor, diseased, ill individuals. But what it comes down to is I won't be stopping anything that you are looking to do. I would hazard against perhaps going in the mines. Part of why we pulled out operations here was because of how dangerous the mines had become. But investigate as you will. Find this cursed individual if you must. If you put a stop to it, amazing. Come find me in Sansitlan and I can find a great reward for you. But
the point is if we're going to try and get in before nightfall and you blow up the town, then that's not going to be conducive for us being able to continue our search.
I understand. I can always come back and burn down the town. Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Do you require rent payment for us staying the night in the town?
No, the town is set to, I mean, you can see it. It's barely standing up as it is. It's more of an eyesore and danger than it is anything else.
When you said that the mines had become dangerous, do you mean with infected?
No, like any mines that have been sunk too greedily and too deep.
Got it.
There are areas that collapse with just a loud shout. There are shafts that have opened up and closed without any needing or provocation. So I would be very, very careful if you end up going that way.
I will mentally say to the group, if I wanted to set up my own hive, I would pick the mine.
Why doesn't that surprise anyone?
What I'm saying is that thing we're looking for might be there.
Are you within? Oh, I guess you're within 120 feet.
That was weird stuff was going on at the mine.
What was that?
Didn't the priest tell me weird shit was happening at the
Yeah,
mine?
when they had stopped over at Hollow for they were gonna stop there for the night, and when they pulled up, they saw a handful of what he suspects were ghouls pulling what looked like corpses into the mine, and so they didn't stop there. They turned and rushed very quickly to Malzapul, the town you guys just came from.
Milpazul?
Milpazul, thank you.
Okay.
I even have this, Shank. I even have a sheet that helps you pronounce stuff.
You're good, man. I was just clarifying.
I'm forgetting letters.
I'm going to run my hand through my hair and say to him, well, drats, I suppose that means that with nobody being in the town and you're about to blow it away, that there's no fresh produce to be had here then.
No, and hasn't been for a while.
How can you think of cooking at a time like this?
There was a general store of sorts that may still have some food in their cellar, but I wouldn't trust any of it personally.
Okay. Well, I have enough stuff that I can waste some on magical versions of stuff.
Non-magical virgins. What kind of campaign is this?
I'm
That's
fine
you
with
guys.
eating donkey.
You guys are the non-magical version.
Yes.
Oh.
And technically a kid, so I mean, sure.
But you're not non-magical.
Yeah, that's what she said. I have magic,
Oh.
and I've had a kid, so...
Oh, I see. Well, seeing as is there a quote unquote inn that looks like it's not going to collapse if we go into it?
Most of the buildings here, and this is GM Dan, most of the buildings here look like if you leaned against them, they would fall over. So, maybe? He was not, you're starting to think it was not turn of phrase when he said enter the town at your own risk.
Is there, well, I mean, someplace with a kitchen is all I'm looking for that will not be a holy nightmare for the wind at night.
You think you'll be able to find something? I mean, it's probably 30 or 40 structures. So there's bound to be something.
Well, that's what I'm going to start looking for now then,
Okay.
before it gets dark.
The person who, the driver of the carriage lets out another sharp series of whistles. And you see about 10 other workers finish up what they're doing, and they go get horses, or they go grab a spot on the back of the carriage. None of them get in the carriage. Isman will turn to you with a deep bow. Yep.
Oh, I was going to say, before you go, I have enough for you and all your men. Would you like to stay for dinner?
I think
We found a fairly decent.
We need to try
building.
to be back before it gets dark.
All right.
As you yourself said. Good luck here tonight, gentlemen, lady.
How far down the road is it to, what did you say, Solomon?
San Sitlan.
Sitlan.
It would be about 5 hours, 6 hours for you guys walking, but the carriage has 6 horses, and you can tell they're gonna ride them hard.
Okay. Do I think they'll get there before night? Because it took us 2 hours to get here, right?
Without a map, it took you guys like 5 hours to get there, because it took you 2 hours to get to the Ettins, maybe 4 hours, 4.5 hours to get here. It was a half a day between.
Right, no, but I'm saying it was 2 hours to get here from the Ettins, and we only had 3 hours before sundown.
Right.
And we spent like the last 20 minutes talking with them here, so they're not going to make it, right?
They might, and they might have a place to stop on the way.
Okay.
He does not seem concerned.
Okay.
I would like to mentally say just to Sunshine.
Why did he call me a lady?
He doesn't know your butt parts.
All things considered, if he was going to talk to each of you, he probably still wouldn't have talked to Keck, thinking him some kind of beast of burden for this strange group.
I
Okay.
take out a bomb and throw it at this guy.
They all load up and head out, and you are left to your own devices outside the abandoned town of Hollow.
Well, if the buildings look like they're gonna fall apart, like I guess we'll set up or set up camp around the wagon, like in the middle of the street.
Oh no! We can't do that. We can't be outside. And
We can't do the buildings if they're gonna fall over.
No. Dan said I found one that.
Yeah, if you're, I mean, there's like 40 buildings, and so one is bound to be safe enough that you guys can shelter together and get some kind of food.
Okay.
Just because you were told by several people now, being outside is not a choice idea.
The question is, what does everybody want to eat? The choices on the table are soup, curry, shrimp cakes, schnitzel, or yeah, those are probably the main choices.
I'm good with schnitzel.
Yeah.
I'll eat the meat out of it.
Cooking in the desert at night without us getting sick. Schnitzel, I guess.
I can't understand what Naomi's saying. I'm not sure why.
We need to work on her mic setup.
I'm sorry. What did you say, Naomi? I wasn't trying
I'll
to
take whatever. It doesn't matter.
Okay. I'm gonna I'll start cooking in the whatever works for a kitchen there that they have.
Okay. Yeah, it's not much of a kitchen. It looks like most of the houses didn't have anything close to what you would have called a workable kitchen. But you're able to piece together enough that you get a fire started, and you've got some pans and you got stuff moving through. Really just a relatively clean cooking surface for mise en place, probably.
Yes.
And so you're able to find that and get your food prepped and cooked.
So while they're cooking, I'm gonna do a lap around town. Just
give me a perception check.
Perception. Yeah, 10 total.
Give me an investigation check.
11.
Okay. You make your way around town, and other than these almost whispering buildings as the wind moves through them, it makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up, because you almost feel like there are people here within the slats of these boards peeking out at you. But there's no one here, and it's just empty and cold. As dark starts to settle around you, it is the true dark. You only have half the night sky above you, and there's no moon, because of the huge stone face that's blocking out part of that. And so it is true dark. And I mean, your orcish heritage gives you some freedom there to see a little bit better than you would normally. So you're still able to make your way through and not lose your place, but you have a feeling that were you any of those other stranger races that can't have some kind of seeing in the dark, you'd be lost. Straight up.
Huh.
And there is a screech that comes out of the wind. It seems to echo in the buildings around you as you're making your way back. A screech that chills you to the bone, that makes you worried in only the way that cavemen were worried hearing those sounds out in the dark. And you find yourself not lacking of bravery in any front, but you do want to check in on your friends, just in case.
It does, yeah, I'd like trigger something primal. Got you. I'll hurry back a little bit.
As the door opens and sunshine comes back in, behind him is an utter cold. The desert gets cold at night, but even then you wouldn't have expected it to be this cold.
It's not like actual dark out, is it?
Yeah.
Why did you go? Okay.
He went out before it was getting dark, but did a lap as it started to get dark. But because you guys are right up against this huge cliff face, it's darker than normal sun going down dark at this point.
Because the shadow from the cliff.
Yeah.
Yep.
And by the time he comes inside, it is dark. And all of you kind of move closer to the fire, just to kind of stave off some of that chill.
And you said the cold feels not necessarily supernatural, but like abnormal even for nighttime desert.
Yes. And this is the first night you guys have spent here, and they've been saying that something is in the air, something is in that chill.
I am going to pull out an oil bomb and extract the oil.
Okay.
To try to boost, like if we have a fire going, I'm gonna use that to boost the fire and increase the heat.
Okay. You do so, and the you stave off a bit more of the area. You warm up a bit more of the area.
Okay.
And the door and windows are now closed behind Sunshine, right?
They're closed with asterisks that
Yes.
there are a lot of gaps in between a lot of the slats here. Yeah. But
No
yes.
one goes outside again after
I'm gonna
dark.
go outside again.
You're not coming back in.
Oppositional defiance order apparently plagues our
I mean-
repertoire.
Someone needs to do a patrol, otherwise let's just get ambushed in here.
Better ambushed in here and not cursed.
Why does a wooden wall protect you from the curse?
This is a good point.
That is what the undead woman said.
Mm,
That is what she said. She didn't say that a wooden wall would protect you, but she did say that there was something out there. And Paloma said it too. Paloma said that while they were out, something flew overhead or something.
Well, then I won't get a good look at what this is once we're out there.
I'm not joking. If you leave, you cannot come back in until morning.
I don't think you could keep me out, but okay.
Can I have your costume when you've dead?
You may have my boots.
Thank you. And your heart.
Of course. How else will you get my power? And I'm gonna eat.
I thought I had a death wish at times.
The food ready?
I thought I had a death wish at times.
Is the food ready?
How long has it been? Like, if it's an hour, then yes.
Yeah, it's been an hour,
Yeah.
No death wish. It's just that if we're on a mission to find something and it only comes out at night, the only way to see it's going to be to go out there at night.
But we
There's
also know that.
prudence in not just running out into the darkness where a plague spreads like an idiot.
Who's running and who's an idiot? I'm saying I'm going to be cautious and take a look. I'm not saying we all go. That would be dumb.
Plus, you might wait until morning and we can go investigate that mine.
Morning for the
This
thing that comes out at night?
It doesn't split hairs on how many go out there. It will affect you alone or not.
It could also affect me in here in this house. So, if you want to stay cowering inside the house, that's fine. I'm not telling you to go outside with me.
If you wish to run to your death, don't let the door hit you on the way out.
I'd rather run to it than wait for it on my knees.
Do I look like I'm on my knees?
It's hard to tell. You're very short.
Go outside. You will do us all a favor.
I'll go on later. I don't think it's out there just yet. I'm going to sit down, put my feet up next to the fire.
I spill extra oil onto the fire accidentally.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw, Sunshine.
Sure. Dexterity save. 16.
You pull your feet back just in time as the spiteful fire bursts up. You're not sure how New is cooking without these extra heat affecting it, but he's pulling the pan out just when these big flame outs are happening so that the food isn't being affected, it would seem. Food finishes, I'm assuming?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And it gets sold out to everyone. Are you taking shifts? And what do those shifts look like?
I don't have to sleep, so I can just take the shift.
Which is how it's usually been, yeah. You're still sitting in sentinel mode.
Right.
I'll try and get 4 hours of sleep, and then I'll be up doing me some plus for the morning.
Okay.
I would like a full 8 hours. I'm going to put my sleep mask. I'm going to have my little cozy. I need my spell slot.
All of you are like roughing it, and Prue in one corner has taken one of the extra blankets and lined the wall so that it doesn't have gaps where wind's coming in, and has built like a little nest area that looks as if it were in a ground level hotel somewhere, and she's with her sleeping mask on, earmuffs on.
I will crouch down because I can't do strenuous activity during this, so I'm going to crouch down right next to the door so that if someone opened the door, the first thing they would see would be me right next to the wall to the right of the door.
Okay. And there is only one door.
There's only one? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
There's a couple windows, but they're shuttered and nailed shut, and there's one door. Okay, Sibo.
I will spend the time replenishing bombs that I've used.
Okay.
I am also, let's see here. I don't know how many reagents it takes to create health potions.
That is a good question. Health
Yeah.
bombs or health potions?
Potions. Where is...
I turn to Prudence and I say, you know, in my home country, we have a word for this, a phrase for this.
I didn't hear that, so
Prudence didn't hear it, or Naomi didn't hear it?
both.
Oh, okay. I turn to Prudence and I say, in my homeland, we have a phrase for this. And he points to what you've done with the blankets and the walls.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It is called camping deluxe.
I call it glamping.
Yes, this is literally the phrase. Camping deluxe.
You
here it is.
style.
So we have 5 party members.
Yes.
Okay, so I am going to spend any number of reagent dice to brew potions. These potions retain potency for 24 hours. And where is my character sheet? I am going to... I'm going to spend 10 minutes making 10 potions of healing.
Okay.
And that puts me at 26 reagents. And then I will go around to everybody's pack and place 2 health potions by them.
Sweet. What do your health potions look like? Bless you. Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you. I may not be done. Hold on.
Get 2.
Oh, God. Okay.
I
All right,
imagine
Phil.
they're in the skulls of small rodents.
Oh, what do they actually look like?
Yeah. When you make them.
They are in surprisingly well-kept little glass vials, but they have a little piece of thread wrapped around them with a rodent vertebrae hanging from them.
Perfect.
Okay. Do you go through and recollect drink potions?
As a kind of as mostly just the actual vessels themselves.
Yeah.
The externals are more just like, I mean, they can function almost like goblin prayers or seals.
Right. Yeah.
But the potion bottles I will actually reclaim.
Nice. I'm just getting fluff. Okay. So that was Sibo. Now we go to Sunshine.
And then once I'm done with that, once that's been done and my patrol's good, I'm going to get a good night of sleep.
Okay. Sweet. Did you want to do a shift? The reason I'm asking is because Keck doesn't need to sleep, and so has been kind of, when there has been shifts set up, she's been the one that's been doing the most of it.
This particular time, no, because I would like to be able to roll for reagents.
Okay. Sweet. Okay, Sunshine.
So when it gets time to be my turn to be on watch, so that I can't take a rest.
You don't have to, by the way. That's what we were saying.
Oh,
Yeah, you don't have
cool.
to.
Well, I'm going to anyway. But I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna take my like sleep stuff with me, and I actually want to go to a building closer to the mine and spend an hour of watching the mine to see if anything comes out of there.
Huh.
And can I do like a? What would it be for like? Because like if this thing's cursing stuff, that means it's probably got like some weird like folklore attached to it. So I just want to kind of like think back on like other like stories of like the witching hour and like what kind of stuff comes out at night, what it does, like that kind of stuff. To think of like when would be the best time to go out there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Give me a history roll, and we'll call that stories and stuff that you've remembered from your childhood, or
I'm not 20, but with my -1, it's a 19.
okay. All right. When you were a small pupae, orcish pupae, and there were a lot of stories because you come from a place, a world where everything is story, right? Everything leads to, I mean, there is part of this huge battle world is the plot, right? It's
Right.
it's the all of these wrestlers have history and have legacy, and so this heroic wrestler is wearing the mask of his grandfather who was bested by, and you go all the way back, right? And even as a young child, that was part of that culture. The stories are part of that culture. And the only time you can recall hearing of something that was a curse like this actually didn't come from those stories. It didn't come from those plot lines or those back and forths. It came from something older, something that your grandparents and your grandparents told the stories of that has been lost. These kinds of stories have been lost, but they spoke of fiends, things from the below that would lay upon these curses and contracts that fed on suffering, that fed on darkness and fear, that pushed their will into the adjoining worlds like a footprint in sand, so that you could see their power here. And as you start thinking over this, kind of by yourself, you're staring at the mine, you're remembering those stories about these creatures, frightening creatures from beyond that would be that powerful that they could affect things elsewhere. And a lot of that power was curses and negative energy and just bad on people. And if the Sereno is as powerful as and as deadly as people have been saying, that's what's coming to your mind, is the possibility of hellish intervention. As you are looking out through these small slats in the building that you've sat down, I picture you with like a mat on the floor, and there's a couple of thicker slats almost at eye level from where you're sitting, and you're watching these utter darkness, but in that utter darkness there's a deeper darkness, which is the whole of the mine. And you see something moving there. You can't really tell its shape. It's not exiting, but it's about man-sized, and it's hunched, and its eyes are gleaming. And as it moves over, like kind of like a cat's eyes with that reflection flash, you see a reflection flash, and it, for a half a second, you see a face sticking out just a little bit further, and then it pulls back in the darkness. And that's where we're going to take our break, because I have to use the restroom. So let's go ahead and take a short break. It is 8:05. Do you guys think 5 minutes?
Yeah.
We make it
Sure.
8:15.
10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 8:15.
Thank you.
And I texted you, Dan.
Okay. I'm gonna push the break button. I can't remember if this worked last time. If you have a 10-minute video, Mark.
I do.
How long do you think we're gonna go, Dan? Because I know you mentioned it was gonna be shorter tonight.
Maybe 9. Is that okay?
Is that an hour from now?
It is an hour from now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we'll come back. We'll have a little bit, and then we'll end it for the night.
Cool.
From somewhere. Breaks. Right.
Sirenscape is amazing tonight, by the way.
Thank you. It's
Yeah, it's very atmospheric.
it's subtle, but I'm enjoying having it as extra. I run Star Wars every other Wednesday, and I'm gonna try to use the sci-fi version of Sirenscape for that.
Awesome.
What Star Wars thing are you running?
So it's starting off. So I love Fantasy Flight, their system, and I have almost all of it already. And so I'm running again the one-shot basic from the basic box for Edge of the Empire. That
Okay.
that opening module to familiarize everyone with how to play, and then from there I'm thinking Master the Pirate Queen. Because it will be the third game I'm running a week, and it's every other week, but it's still the third game, and I want to make things easier on myself.
Oh yeah, we did. The last time we did the Fantasy Flight ones, Adam ran Age of Rebellion, and it was the one where like you guys are like defending a base till the last minute, and then you leave. I forget what module that is. And I played a war correspondent. I didn't fight at all in that, and I was like embedded with the rebels and like reporting on like I had like a camera droid. It was great. I was there.
That's pretty cool.
I'm here with our guys on the front lines.
Were you still like adding things to their combats, adding boosts and
So
stuff?
I played a rabble rouser, one of the support classes, and they have an ability they can do where if they like, it's basically like vicious mockery almost, but you cause stress on the troopers you attack. So I would shout at the stormtroopers that they're like fighting for the fascist regime and like do like all the harm that they're doing to the people of these planets and like listing off atrocities that the Empire has done and causing stress on stormtroopers. And then I could like take stress off of the other players too.
So you became a rebel drill sergeant that like triggered their PTSD from boot camp.
Yep.
You're a monster, sir.
One of,
But I recorded it all. It was all good TV. Like I'm here reporting the truth.
one of the things I love most about that system is that you can absolutely do that. There's a lot of freedom in what you're doing and what you're doing it for. I really like it.
The flexibility of the dice system in that game is something I have never seen usurped as one of the most creative uses.
I suspected one of the other players was feeding information to the Imperials. And I was right, and I only found out like a year or two after we stopped playing that game that our friend who was the sergeant of the squad was actually an Imperial spy.
Nice.
I was like, I was so close. So he's like, yeah, you almost found out.
Okay. Coming back to Sunshine, seeing something creepy in the mine itself for a moment. It is probably roughly 3 or 4 in the morning at this point. What is, I think most people are asleep. So what are you doing, Sunshine? You are
So I saw.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish my long rest here. I usually get up early, like with the sunrise anyway,
Okay.
because that's when I start my training regime. So, yeah, I'll chill here.
Okay. You it's cold, as mentioned previously, even colder for you because you don't have a fire. But as the sun starts to come up, and you start seeing that sunshine, it plays. All of you see that it plays through the cracks in the slats in the walls, so that almost the inside of the buildings are almost as bright as the outside of the buildings. With the sunlight, it seems to push off that eerie cold that had been soaking into you all overnight. Not that you are sick with a Sereno, but that there was just something there that has been pushed off by the sunlight. All of you do your morning preparations because you two were awake and doing mission plots when the sun came up. And you get prepared for the day. As you rise awake, you see that Sunshine is not there.
What?
And
Like I don't know, a testing method or something that we could check to make sure he's all good. Like if he's shivering and cold, we already know that that's like.
you did do your. I mean, I don't know if you want to waste a spell on it, but you did do detect magic, and you could see the curse laid upon people.
That orc is brash.
But
He's going
based
to
on
get himself killed if he
Do
does
it
not
as a
temper
ritual
that.
to get ready in the morning.
based on what you saw, you would be able to tell if he was cursed almost immediately. This curse settles in fast and hurts you immediately. That being said, Prue, Sibo, I mean, you watched it, Keck, but as you guys kind of wake up and start moving around, you look over and you see that the door, the singular door to the room, has a broken chair shoved harshly up against the door handle and dug into the floorboards of the pressed into the floorboards of the floor, right along it. A precautionary measure, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Just how'd that get there?
Oh, Dan, I'm gonna message you real quick
Okay.
about what I'm doing.
I'm just gonna nudge it loose and nonchalantly as possible. Am I gonna get electrocuted by some bow or something if I try this?
Electrocuted by some bow.
I would think bow might be a non-conductive material, but yes.
You never know.
No.
Okay. So yeah, I just
New is busy like making some kind of curry for breakfast.
Okay, cool.
Should I go looking for sunshine?
Might not be a bad idea.
All
Besides,
right.
tell him that breakfast's almost ready.
All right. I'll head out and start trying to find sunshine.
Okay. As you walk out into the kind of main thoroughfare, the house you found was a little bit off of the main street, but not far. What does he see, Sunshine?
I'm in my mask, and that's all. Now you know what? I'm just in my mask, full nude, in the middle of the street, in the sunlight, doing my workout.
What does this workout look like?
I was gonna
normally
go with
there would
Jack,
be
but
like
I'm glad I didn't.
Because I don't have all my gear here.
Right.
It's just like push-ups, sit-ups, like a lot of just body work.
Keck, as you see him exercising, you see that to the right of the road, there had been a small shack. You remember it from yesterday, that had an overhang that was probably a really good height, that would have been a good height for pull-ups. That shack no longer exists. It's collapsed off the road, dust rolling up from it.
And I'm a little dusty.
And he's a little
I am going to turn around and quietly re-enter the building. And I'm going to mentally
There's
say
a door
to...
prop. I mean, there's a chair prop behind the door. You can't get again.
Please do not send mental.
I'm kidding. I died. I'm kidding.
I pull out a bomb.
That's you.
I'll say to the three of us, or the three other people in the building, flesh beings are disgusting. And then I'm going to walk over and look for food.
For real.
There is a fresh curry of leafy vegetables. It's almost like the consistency of pesto or green curry.
And there's no meat in it.
No, it has
Ass.
sure, we'll say donkey.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
eat the donkey part out, and then I will take the rest of my bowl over to Sibo.
All right. I take it and set it down next to me while I finish the bowl that I have.
Okay. You finish out your workout, Sunshine. It's invigorating. The sun is not super high in the sky, but it has scared away that chill. Prue, you've packed up all of your glamping area. Sibo, you've got everything, kind of all of your alchemist set repacked up and distributed across your hidden portions. New has completed, I'm assuming with cleanup. I'm not sure how cleanup actually works when you guys are out and about.
I mean, if we don't have extra water, it would probably just be a thorough wiping down.
Okay. Keck, you're well fed. You have cleaned up your weapon. And you guys, as far as I know, are good to go.
So, I'm torn because I see two courses of action that we could pursue today. number one would be to collect all the explosives, and then we have all the explosives.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, he did not say explosives. He said he was planning on burning the place down.
But we did see them bringing in a bunch of
wax-covered packages.
wax-covered packages.
Have you investigated this building?
No,
Okay.
which, and then so that's option one.
Love
We
you,
figure
buddy.
out what the wax. Love you too. Figure out what the wax-covered packages are, and then see if we want to collect them. Or number two, we head straight to the mine.
So I haven't met up with you guys yet.
Correct.
I haven't told you the information I have.
Correct. So what do you guys think?
Let's
we
see
can
what's
at
in
least
the
check out
package.
and see what the packages are yet, just to see what it is, if it's worth collecting.
So I'll start searching this house to see if there are packages like that here.
Give me an investigation.
While he's doing that, I'm going to mentally send a message to Sibo that says,
Don't worry. I'm not able to backwash.
because there's no
I'll think
fluid,
back
it's
to you.
just fingers.
I'll think back to you.
I'm not sure I would notice a difference.
18.
As you are searching high and low for this package, you do not find something the size or shape of the wax-coated whatever it was. However, as you move out to the corner, probably two of the different corners, and you're looking around the outside of the shack as well, you see that dust has begun to collect on an area about 2 feet up to the ground, where it looks like some kind of oil or liquid had been poured over the outside of, especially the bottoms of these. And you actually see a trail leading from this shack to the next shack, where a similar marking has been done.
Do I remember any of the buildings that they specifically went to
It
with the
looked-
wax packages?
By the time you guys got here, they were hitting the ones closest to the road, and you guys are far back. Like, you guys are nearer the mine. So,
I'll grab my stuff and then start heading that direction.
are you indicating to anyone what you found?
Yes. When I go back in to pick up my stuff, I would say to the others, it looks like they've used some kind of oil to pool at the base of each of the buildings and then ran a trail of oil from that building to the next building and repeated so far. But I have yet to find any of the wax packages. I'm going to head towards the mine to where I remember seeing them take one in and see if I can locate it.
Okay.
And
I'll go
probably
with you.
run into sunshine somewhere in that area.
I'm going with him.
Okay.
I'm not gonna sit inside the what I can. I'm just picturing like the Looney Tunes, like oil line where the flame is just following it and then exploding. I don't want to be in one of those buildings.
You should go flush the toilet in here.
There's no toilets. We know better than that. You don't even have axles and freaking
No,
wagons.
go do it. Go do it. Go flush the toilet.
Alright, Keck,
Ducky, go down the hole.
what are you doing?
I'll just stick kind of near New
Okay.
and help out.
Prue?
I am. Okay, so I'm gonna follow the group at this point in time because I'm very confused about what we're supposed to do.
Okay. As you make your way out to the thoroughfare, where are you, Sunshine?
I'm finishing getting dressed in the street, and I have like my stuff like in my pack, and I'm putting it like in the wagon,
Okay. That's where you guys
Pretty-
see him.
and I'm like finishing. I don't have rations. I have like packs of like protein shake.
And
that
Friyay.
Shylock acquires for me because Shylock is like that good,
Yeah.
so he gets good like whey protein, and I'm drinking one of those when they come up.
Out of my pouch, I pull a bowl of curry for you.
Good. I think we're going to be going into the mine. I start talking about what I saw. That it was like a creature. It was like humanoid shaped, about human size with like the weird face. And I start telling them about like the weird stories that I used to grow up on, and if they knew. And after all that, like have any of you ever heard of something like this that probably does? I don't know. It's weird, but I'm thinking it comes
Tracks
out
with
of.
what the preacher said, right?
Hmm?
That tracks with what the priest said. The
The
weird
the thing he
humanoid.
saw, yeah, the thing he saw definitely tracks with what the priest said. Yeah. So has anybody heard
What color were they?
Yeah, go ahead.
They were like a cat's eyes, and like the light reflected off of them when they looked out of the mine.
What would be recognizing that? Is that nature or arcana?
Did he freeze?
What? Oop.
Oh.
I think you froze.
You're good. You're good, James. For a second, your face was the same after you asked about the cat's eyes.
Specifically,
Specifically, what color were they?
What color were they, Dan?
They were like yellow at first, but
Oh, I wouldn't know because I don't see
oh yeah.
color in dark vision.
And you would know that too, Sibo. But he
that's
wouldn't have
fair.
been able to see the color.
correct.
I'm gonna look around this place where he's getting dressed for one of the wax packages.
Oh, and then Naomi, what was your question? You had a question.
When he was describing it, would that be an arcana knowledge check or a nature knowledge check?
Or can
I got a 21.
he's very. I mean, based on what the priest said and what he's saying, you're guessing some kind of ghoul.
Yeah, that's okay.
And you
There.
that role, ghouls aren't. You haven't heard of any ghouls that can spread a curse like what has been happening.
I'm guessing that the ghouls aren't, in charge. They're probably just muscle and problems,
Give me,
but they're not smart enough to get the curse done.
yeah.
I think this is just a terrible misunderstanding. I think the ghouls are probably using the curse as entertainment. Because ghouls just want to have fun.
I was waiting for it. I was freaking waiting for it.
They just
So
want to.
I was gonna
Security
say
one to escort from the premises, please.
you're searching for that wax paper mark.
Yes.
So I was gonna say roll an investigation check, but instead roll a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. I'm actually better at those than I am the investigation check.
Roll me an investigation check.
A 4.
You are not able to find any of that wax paper, but you see these buildings also have been marked the same way, with whatever that substance was.
Okay.
Remind me, in this setting, do we regain hit points after a long rest, or
I'm
we
sorry.
not?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Y'all had a long rest. I should have. Thank you. I should have said that. Y'all get back all of your hit dice. If you spent hit dice, you get hit points, and you get if
Spell
slots.
you have spell slots or abilities or second wind or any of that stuff, you get that
I'm not
stuff.
get my spell slots back. I just wanted to know if I got those hit points
Yeah.
back or not, because I lowered them.
For the record, looking at Sunshine, he does not appear to be cursed.
He looks good. We should have like a stand
Right, he looks good. He's got that sheen to him.
and clothes on.
Yeah, sheen and dust, don't forget.
All right. As you guys move to the cave entrance, the mine entrance. You can see that it has it has an opening in the cave wall, or in the wall of the stone edifice. There's an opening that has wooden boards, wooden like railroad ties that are holding up the entrance. Once you move past those, you can see that the mine's entrance leads to a large cavern supported by wooden beams. That's the word I was looking for. The word beams. At the chamber's center, a derelict wooden elevator rattles in the wind that rushes from the depths of a crumbling mine shaft. The ceilings throughout, unless otherwise stated, are about 10 feet high. None of the mine is lit, unless otherwise stated. And the structure of the mine and the elevation difference between the shafts funnels a strong wind through the tunnels. Gusts of air hiss and howl, imposing disadvantage on checks that require hearing. So,
What?
Huh? So you're in a round-ish room. Give me 1 second. And that one. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in. Can you see this?
Mm-hmm.
You're in
Yep.
this room. There is a wooden elevator here that is
Yes.
rickety. It does not look well maintained. The stone of the mine's entrance in this cavern is crumbling badly.
I'm going to go ahead and light a torch.
Would somebody like to make an intelligence nature check? And you light a torch.
And I will do nature check unless somebody has a objection.
Nah, go for it.
No, I definitely am not interested.
Oh, I guess I'm not that interested in nature either.
Hang on.
15. Oh,
Okay.
sorry, I rolled. Go ahead.
I got a natural 20, which will make it a 23.
We'll let her have it.
As you
Yep.
guys, okay, really quick, let me do this.
I'm really into nature right
Who has low light or dark vision?
I do.
now. I do.
I do also.
Not me.
Naomi, does Prudence have low light or dark vision?
Dark vision, I'm tiefling.
Not all tieflings, ironically, have dark vision. That's why I was asking.
Let me double check that.
Most do, but that's why I was checking. I can't remember which type we selected.
I'm the token human.
You're the token human. Okay. So, I'm going to go off of what Mark can see with his torch. And then, if you guys want to look for extra, because you are extra, then we can talk about what else you guys see with your super elf eyes.
It is dark.
It is dark vision, thank you. So, as Mark is bringing the torch around and looking at this cavern, you're inspecting the walls, and I mean you don't spend a lot of time in caverns. It's not something that you do naturally, but you all kind of space out and start looking. And Prue specifically, you can tell the cavern is in no immediate danger of collapsing. This part of the cavern, at least. When he was talking about the dangers, he might have meant further down below or deeper into, but this area, the opening, seems fine. The elevator, however, appears rusted in place. The shaft it once traversed is you can see it in the cracks around the elevator, and there's just darkness that goes down deep.
But, like, it's not well maintained, but does this elevator look like we're going to get on it and it's immediately going to break and
Yep.
kill us?
Yes, it
Okay.
really does. Let me go back to
That looks unsafe.
there. So it's just,
So then my follow-up question is, the things that Sunshine and Saw came in here had to go somewhere. So if they didn't use the elevator because it would instantly kill them, there has to be something else in here.
correct. So give me a perception check.
15 plus perception, 7, 22.
As you guys are making your way around the cavern, you see that it looks like someone had sealed a tunnel leading to the mine's lower levels on the northwest wall. As you look at the rocks that have been piled up back in this area, it looks like, especially with the wind rattling the doorway behind, you probably make short work of it. But it's a secret passage hidden by rocks.
Secret
Well,
passage.
Let's remove the rocks.
Passage.
So we're all looking at Sunshine and Keck, right? For removing the rocks. Okay.
Yep.
We should remove the rocks as we look at the strong people.
I'll walk over and start trying to move rocks.
Yeah, I'll move rocks with them.
Okay. It's a fairly, I mean, it takes time, but it's not difficult, right? They're not heavy rocks. It's just, it seems that the people of Hollow maybe blocked off this path before leaving the area. And you remove the rocks and find a wooden door that has been fastened shut with some thin wire. You undo it with some thin wire strapping, and you are able to make your way. No, that's not the right one. That's not the right one. That's the right one. Down into this area, this hallway.
Huh.
This small square is where the elevator would be coming down if it worked.
I kind of want to take the elevator down.
All you, my friend.
That is a very, very broke. That's a bad idea, elevator.
Well, like I have boots of spider climbing, so I could just like walk down the mine shaft. But yeah, we'll stick together.
Alright, as you make your way down and around the corner, you see a wooden doorway that, it's a makeshift wooden door that blocks the entrance here. It is a heavy door that fits well within its frame, as if it were crafted and hauled down here to be a stop there. As you guys are coming down the hallway with a torch and with dark vision, give me an intelligence investigation check. Whoever would like to.
If somebody else is
got it.
better, yeah, you do it.
18.
Nice. It appears that there is a glyph scratched into the stone of the floor in the 10 feet prior to the door. It is scratched well into the stone, and then dirt has covered it up to look more like the floor itself. You recognized it just by a little bit off because you grew up in caves. But you aren't sure what the glyph does.
Would I?
Arcana check.
Give
Question
me
mark.
an Arcana check. What was that, Nami?
I was gonna ask if it would be even something I could recognize, but I don't know if I'm in that same area or if we're all huddled
I'm
together.
assuming everybody is relatively together. These are 5-foot squares. You guys can't be like all in the same square, but I assume. Yeah.
Close.
That was an 11.
You're not sure what the glyph might be holding, but you get the impression that it might be holding a spell.
I'll point it out to
Prudence.
Yeah.
Take a look here. Do you recognize this?
I didn't recognize it much better because I got a 13. But this whole area's got a vibe. I could do the detect magic if we feel like there's magic going on.
What did you get?
I've got a 13.
As you're looking at the glyph, you can tell that it's something having to do with the floor and the door. Like the floor, that part of the floor and the door are connected, but you're not sure how.
Okay. So
Glyph of Warding, by the way, is a spell. That I'm
Okay.
letting you know that because I don't think you know that.
right, yeah, I didn't.
Yeah. So the glyph is a spell.
Do we need to go through this door right now? Because I have a feeling something about that door. Oh, is there other doors?
You haven't seen any.
So just for positioning, I'm actually still at that corner where I have line of sight on the elevator, and I'm still like, it's very obvious. I'm like, I kind of want to go down the elevator. Like, I am very curious about going down the elevator shaft.
So when you say that, you mean you're here?
No. I'm in the same hall as them. Just
Oh, so this is in the wall. You don't
Oh.
see this. Yeah, I was just saying. So
we go down. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So you can still be here to keep an eye on both sides, but that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going down a little bit. I don't want to go down too far, but this is where the elevator stops, and so it's just showing you how things are laid out.
Gotcha. Cool.
Should I throw something at those scratchings on the floor?
I just have a feeling that it might be. I don't want it to blow up. Just because I'm not 100% sure what it is, and I don't like the idea of cave-ins.
Oh, you want me to take a look at it?
If I say sure and back up a lot, is that going to give you any confidence?
I would recommend everyone back up a little bit just in case it does blow up.
Okay.
So that mark, it's on the floor 10 feet in front of it.
So it's
No, I'm right here.
Ah.
Oh.
So can you guys see the lines?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes.
That whole area is under the glyph.
Okay, I'm going to walk on the ceiling and go to the door.
Okay.
And
Okay, how is he walking on steel? Like barefoot?
He has
Really?
he has boots of spider climbing.
Okay, it's boots.
I got big boots.
I am going to stand in the hallway between everyone else and Sunshine with my shield on my back, hunched down with my back facing Sunshine.
Okay. You're on the ceiling where? Here?
Yeah.
Okay. So give me a perception check. As you are closer to the door, you see that there is candlelight shining dully through the cracks around the door.
I got a 10.
And the door is pretty thick, so you can't really hear anything on the other side of it. But you are upside down at the door with the glyph above you.
I think really hard at it.
I could have done detect magic, but he's already up there.
True.
Oh, I mean, I think we all know magic's there. It's
Yeah,
just a
it's not
problem of what does it do?
Yeah.
Does
Oh,
it look like
magic
I can open the
weapon.
door?
There is a doorknob. The doorknob is within reach. It looks like it may be, like it might be. You can't really tell, but those two things are evident.
I mean, we were already having conversations out here. I'm gonna open the door. There's someone on the other side,
You.
so get ready.
You.
How do you know there's someone on the other side?
So
There's well, light.
you open the door.
Well, I'm letting everyone know so that we can get ready.
As you open the door, you look through, and upside down to you, the floor of this chamber is slick with blood. 2 of 3 tables have growling corpses strapped to them. A frenzied woman brandishes a knife as she undoes the straps of those 2 beds. There's further growling off in the hallway to the north.
I closed the door.
Wait a second. There's a magic warding spell that triggers a crazy lady to cut zombies out of their
It seems that she was doing that already. The spell had nothing to do with that.
Okay, cool. This is the welcome we deserve.
So actions.
How attached are we to a get behind me?
Well, we're behind Keck, all of us.
Oh yeah, you get
Am I able to move?
Yeah.
job first.
Okay, I'll walk up to the edge of where the glyph is and wait there with my glaive out.
Edge of where the cliff is.
The
The glyph. The glyph.
Oh, so you want to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You wait there. There is...
Did I close the door, or is it still open?
There is growling, and she says, "Ah, yes, this will buy me time to escape."
And then Sunshine closes the door.
He closed the door. He just really wasn't listening at the door earlier. You guys can hear her.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Got it.
So actions.
I'm gonna be near the back.
Okay.
Probably in the back. And
Do I
I'll-
have to be able to see a door to be able to lock it?
I mean, yeah, but you could see that door.
Prestidigitation. I was hoping that there would be another way to keep her from going awake, but I see that there's no door behind that I don't know.
Oh, back here? No. There's no door there.
One hand, I'm gonna have a finger gun ready,
Okay.
and in the other hand, I'm gonna have one of my teleportation bombs.
Okay.
Cool. Then,
Side note, Daniel, I found the kids' characters makeups for the Thursday game.
Oh, yeah. I think they were on that clipboard.
once everyone's ready, I'll open the door and I'll act.
I think everyone's ready.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm sure it'll be fine.
As you
Cool.
swing the door open once again, you see there are now 5 ghouls in the room, and no angry, fanatic woman. And they hiss at you, and you can see that their mouths and their hands are dripping fresh red blood. And that's where we're going to stop for tonight. Thank you guys very much. It's been a while. I'm hoping we can pick up playing these more often.
Yeah, I missed you guys.
There.
That was
Um,
fun.
Next week, we'll have to try and make it into the ghoul where it happened.
The cool where it happened. The cool where it happened. Yeah, so, the sound is Sirenscape. It is a subscribed thing you can do as GMs or players. I followed some really easy instructions on how to get a Discord bot to work for playing those sounds in Discord for this game. They have a sci-fi player and a fantasy player. They have a bunch of modules for both D&D, Pathfinder, and Starfinder that already have sound sets built in, so if you are playing any of those games and are interested, check out Sirenscape. I don't have anything extra for you guys or Mark. So do you have anything, Mark?
No, other than join us tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 Central, 10 Eastern for Once Human. And we're going to raid over to Tiny Painting Desk, a good friend of the channel. She is playing some repo. Not family friendly, but she's very hilarious. So make sure you let her know. If you are a sub, grab the second message. If you are not a sub, that's okay. Grab the first message and just paste it in there. Let her know you're there once we raid out. Thank you to Naomi, Jim, Crodad, and Andres. And thank you, Dan, for running. And until next time, as always, be excellent with each other. Horse, game on.
Game on.
Game on.
And if you could kill it, Dan.